My friends, in the mirror of time, we observe a peculiar phenomenon. Some faces grow lined with wisdom, while others remain curiously untouched by the years. The latter, unmarked by age, may draw admiration, but let us not be deceived by the surface of things. For in the economy of the eternal, appearances are but shadows of the soul's true condition. Why then do some appear ageless? Is it a blessing to look younger than one's years? Or could it be a divine warning? A whisper from eternity about the state of our hearts? We often measure youth by the absence of wrinkles and the vitality of the body. Yet youth, in its purest sense, is the vitality of the soul, the capacity to wonder, to love, to seek, and to grow. Those who look younger may be preserving a semblance of this vitality in their appearance, but I ask, has this vitality been cultivated within, or is it merely an illusion projected outward? Consider the nature of time. It moves forward relentlessly, yet we are creatures who resist its current. We clutch at the fleeting pleasures of youth as though they were treasures, while neglecting the eternal joys that lie ahead. If you appear ageless, it may not be because you have defied time, but because you have failed to heed its call. To look younger may mean you have avoided the marks of hardship, the lessons of loss, or the weight of responsibility, all of which shape the soul as surely as wind shapes the stone. But I caution you, do not mistake unblemished skin for virtue, nor wrinkles for vice. For the soul does not age as the body does. It ripens or it withers. It grows brighter or it dims. To remain youthful in spirit is to remain teachable, humble, and open to the divine. But to cling to the outward semblance of youth without inward growth is to be as a tree that bears no fruit, lush in foliage yet barren at its core. Ask yourself, then, why do I look younger? Is it because I have walked lightly upon this earth, shirking the burdens of love and duty? Or is it because the grace of God has preserved in me the innocence of a heart surrendered to Him? Youthful appearance can be a blessing, but it can also be a warning. It may be a reminder that we are called to greater things than merely to linger in the bloom of our early years. For our true calling is not to preserve youth, but to prepare for eternity. Remember, friends, that the face will one day fade, no matter how youthful it may seem today. The body will one day return to the dust. What remains is the soul, and it is the condition of the soul that should concern us most. Let us not be so distracted by the mirror's reflection that we neglect the reflection of Christ within us. So, if you look younger, do not take pride in it. Rather, let it prompt you to examine your life. Are you growing in love, in wisdom, in holiness? Are you allowing the trials of life to shape you into the image of your Creator? For it is far better to grow old in the service of God than to remain young in the service of self. And if you find that your appearance is indeed a gift of grace, use it wisely. Let it not be a source of vanity, but a means to draw others to the eternal beauty that surpasses all outward form. For in the end, it is not youth but Christ in us, that is the hope of glory. Let us then pursue not the fleeting shadow of youth, but the enduring light of the eternal. And in so doing, we will find that even as our bodies age, our souls will grow ever more radiant, until the day we stand before the One who makes all things new. Imagine gazing into a mirror and seeing a face that defies the passage of time. The wrinkles are few, the eyes bright, and the complexion smooth. Many would call this a blessing, a gift, or even an enviable advantage in a world obsessed with youth. But what if this agelessness were not a gift but a warning? What if the mirror spoke truths that the soul dared not utter? We live in an age where external youth is prized above internal maturity. Advertisements tell us that our worth is measured by our smooth skin, vibrant hair, and lithe movements. Yet, I tell you, this pursuit of eternal youth may mask a far deeper truth, that while the body may remain unscathed by years, the soul can wither unnoticed. The nature of time and eternity time, you see, is not merely a physical phenomenon. It is a spiritual tutor. Each wrinkle and line etched upon our faces marks lessons learned, sacrifices made, and virtues cultivated. To remain untouched by time may signify not divine favor, but a refusal to engage with life's true purpose, growth. For growth often comes through hardship, and hardship leaves its mark. But what if you are spared these marks? What if your outward appearance suggests you have not borne the weight of time's trials? Could it be that you have avoided the very crucible in which character is forged? A youthful face, then, might not signify eternal vitality but a stunted soul, trapped in the shallow waters of self-absorption. The danger of worshipping youth, the pursuit of perpetual youth, is, at its heart, an act of rebellion. It is a refusal to acknowledge that we are finite creatures, destined for an eternal home beyond this fleeting life. In clinging to youth, we may forget that our earthly journey is not meant for the preservation of our bodies but the preparation of our souls. To look younger than our years is no sin, but to worship that youth at the expense of our spiritual maturity is a grave error. Do not misunderstand me. I do not condemn beauty, vitality, or health. These are gifts from God, but like all gifts, they can become idols when severed from their proper purpose. If your youthful appearance causes you to dwell more on yourself and less on others, it has become a stumbling block. If it blinds you to the inevitability of death and the urgency of preparing for eternity, it is no longer a blessing but a curse. The divine warning. So, what might God be saying when He allows some to retain the bloom of youth longer than others? Perhaps it is this: beware, for your outward appearance may deceive you into thinking you are immortal. But I see your heart, and it is the heart that matters. Scripture reminds us that man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16 verse 7. If your mirror flatters you, let it drive you to humility, not pride. Let it remind you that all flesh is as grass, and the glory of man fades like the flower of the field. Isaiah 40 verses 6 to 8. Youth, no matter how long it lingers, will pass, but the soul you cultivate will endure forever. The call to action: do not waste your time chasing the fleeting image of youth. Instead, invest your energy in becoming what God intended you to be: a soul radiant with love, humility, and wisdom. Let your face be a map of kindness, your hands tools of service, and your eyes windows of compassion. When you stand before the divine judge, He will not ask how young you looked but how well you loved. He will not measure your beauty but your faithfulness. And He will not praise your wrinkle-free skin but your enduring spirit. So, my friends, heed the warning of the youthful face. Let it prompt you to ask, am I as young inside as I appear outside? For in the end, it is not the age of the body that matters but the age of the soul. And may we all grow younger in the ways that matter most. In a world consumed by the pursuit of beauty and youth, we are constantly reminded of the inevitability of aging. Time passes, and with it our bodies change. Yet, there are some who seem to defy the natural course of time, appearing younger than their years, radiating vitality and life. How is this possible? Is it simply a matter of genetics? Or is there something deeper at play? I want to explore the idea that our outward appearance, our youthfulness, is not just the result of how we care for ourselves physically, but also how we care for ourselves spiritually. Could it be that our spiritual state has a direct impact on how we age? That the way we live our lives, the energy we radiate, and the way we treat others can affect the way we look? There's an ancient wisdom that suggests our lives are not just about the physical, but about the alignment between our bodies, minds, and spirits. In many cultures, it is believed that when one's spirit is in harmony with the universe, it manifests not only in the way we think and feel, but also in the way we age. A peaceful heart, a kind soul, and a positive outlook on life may contribute to a more youthful appearance. But there is more to this. There is a divine warning that comes with this knowledge. You see, we are not merely individuals living in isolation. We are part of a greater, interconnected whole, and our actions ripple out into the world. The choices we make, not just for ourselves but for others, have profound consequences. If we live with greed, hatred, or selfishness, our inner turmoil may manifest on the outside, making us look older, more fatigued, and worn down. The warning is this: if we fail to nurture our spirits, if we fail to live in accordance with divine principles, we risk not only aging prematurely but losing sight of the very essence of life. The more we focus on material gain and superficial appearance, the more we distance ourselves from the source of true vitality, our spiritual well-being. When we embrace love, kindness, compassion, and gratitude, we open ourselves to a source of energy that transcends the physical. It's not just about the foods we eat or the products we use. It's about how we choose to live. It's about cultivating an inner peace that radiates outward, allowing us to look and feel youthful, no matter our age. So, as we reflect on why some of us look younger than we are, we must ask ourselves, what is the state of our spirit? Are we living in alignment with the greater good, with love and compassion at the core of our being? Are we in harmony with the divine energy that flows through all things? The warning is clear. True youthfulness is not just about the body. It is about the soul. And if we neglect our spiritual health, no amount of skincare or exercise can preserve our youth for long. The choice is ours, to live in harmony with the divine or to let the weight of the world cause us to age before our time. We are reminded, then, that our youthfulness is a reflection of how we treat ourselves and others. It is a divine gift, one that requires nurturing, care, and a deep understanding of the connection between our physical, mental, and spiritual selves. When we live in alignment with that understanding, we find ourselves looking not only younger but more vibrant and alive than we ever thought possible. And that, my friends, is the true secret to eternal youth. Why do we look younger even as time passes? This question often arises when we see someone who, despite the years on their birth certificate, has an aura of vitality that defies age. It may seem like a mere consequence of genetics or good skin care, but there is a deeper, divine wisdom that can be uncovered in this simple, yet profound phenomenon. At the heart of this is an understanding of balance. We live in a world filled with distractions, constant noise, digital screens, the pressures of modern life, and the perpetual chase for success. All of these take a toll on our bodies, minds, and spirits. However, when we step back and listen closely to the rhythms of the universe, we notice something remarkable. Those who practice mindfulness, gratitude, and self-care tend to carry with them an ageless essence. It's not just about the skin on our faces or the lines on our hands, but about the energy we exude. This energy, when aligned with the flow of life and divinity, creates a youthful presence that cannot be easily explained. Many people who age gracefully seem to understand this instinctively. They know that time is a gift and not something to be feared. They live with purpose, with love, and with compassion for others and themselves. In doing so, they create a harmonious relationship with their surroundings, leading to peace and joy. This peace, in turn, translates into vitality. The heart beats stronger, the spirit shines brighter, and the body follows suit. On the contrary, when we live out of alignment with our true selves, when we are caught up in the stress, bitterness, and negativity that often pervade our daily lives, we age not just in appearance but in our very essence. We allow external forces to dictate our moods and actions, forgetting that the divine spark within us is the true source of our youthfulness. There's an inherent warning here. When we neglect our spiritual well-being, we not only face the physical consequences of stress and tension, but we also distance ourselves from the true source of life itself. There is an undeniable connection between our inner world and the way we age. In ancient wisdom, this connection is often described as being one with the divine. It speaks of the importance of maintaining a harmonious relationship with the universe and our higher selves. In modern terms, this could be seen as cultivating mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and spiritual growth. When we nurture these aspects, we inevitably create an environment where our physical being can thrive. This divine warning is not one of fear or despair, but rather one of empowerment. It encourages us to embrace the truth that youth is not merely a fleeting phase of life, but a state of mind, a reflection of our inner peace and alignment with the divine. It reminds us to not chase after fleeting external standards of beauty or success, but to look within, to find that eternal spark that keeps us vibrant and alive. We are reminded that the key to staying young is not in resisting age, but in embracing life, in all its phases, with grace and gratitude. As we walk through life, we must remember that our physical appearance, though important, is only a reflection of something far more profound: the energy we project and the love we give. It is through our hearts that we maintain a youthful spirit, and through our minds that we can control the direction of our energy. To look younger, in the truest sense, is not about defying age through superficial means but about reconnecting with the divine wisdom that resides in all of us.